Music in you. I have the music in me. New Radicals. You get what you give. All right. Pausing that. Taking these out of my ear. We're gonna do some MiFos today. Whereas I finally touched True Wireless with the AirPod Pros, and so they are the benchmark, and everything I compare will be compared against these. Just because this is everyone's got one. If you don't know, at least everyone's got AirPods. The Pros are sort of like the newfangled better thing, which I actually gave them a decent review. So I have two MiFos here, the 05s and the 07s. The 05s come in this gargantuan, like, huge, like it's thick. That is just, you could punch someone with this in your hand. It'll help you out a great deal. The reason I'm not wearing them in my ears anymore is because the right one on this one stopped working, and I don't know if it's because it has stopped charging, but I'm going to figure that out, and I'm going to give it a real full review at some point. Maybe I'll just bring it back in. This is the cheap one. If we go to Amazon, you can see that the 05, which claims to be Bluetooth 5 and IP67 waterproof and noise reduction. Noise reduction doesn't mean noise canceling. That's one of the things. Like, this is an $80 set. This is an $80 set. So it's not reaching up to the heights that the AirPod Pros were trying to achieve. We're going to talk about the 07s, which are $150, and those are still way cheaper than AirPod Pros. And those also have noise reduction. So we should talk about that for a second. I've got two phones, by the way, two identical Z2 Forces, Motorola Z2 Forces here, so that I could test them, but then that one stopped, just the right one just stopped making sound. And so I'm going to give it some more charge, and we're going to see. It doesn't matter, really, because this set, while cheap, the case is just unbearably big. Like, if it was that size, but as thin as the AirPod case, you'd have a fucking shot, but you do not. There's no shot to be had with this. It's gargantuan. It's gargantuan. This would need to do like 27 charges, and you'd have to have a need for this. It's also beautiful. Like, when I unboxed this a long time ago, the metal, it says make it fully optimal inside, which I don't know. That kind of feels like a Transformers theme. Like, that feels something like Optimus Prime would say it. That's his line. Make it fully optimal. In fact, they probably watched Transformers wherever they make this in China and was like, that's it. That's the line we're going with. USB microcharging, not C. Oh, by the way, or correction, I said this was C. It's Lightning. Because I had the plug and I just kept plugging it in. I'm like, oh yeah, it's C. Thank God, it's C. Nope, fucking Lightning. Get with the times, Apple. No one's going to Lightning but you. That's just another one of those dick moves. Anyway, so the MiFo 05s. There's a trend where these are super fucking light. Like, way lighter feeling in your ears than the AirPod Pros. They weigh almost nothing. I don't know what's inside the 5s. I know the 7s have a dual balance armature because it's a lot smaller to do that than it is to try to squeeze a dynamic in there. And you pop it in here. And both of these, by the way, do up to 7 hours of playback, where this only does 4.5. So we're both already ahead of the game. And I don't know if that does Bluetooth 5. It should. It should. It's the newest edition of it. So the 5s, I do love the way they look. The chrome, and then this has a blue ring around it, and that has a red ring around it to indicate left and right. And I wish I could say the same for the 7s. Because here's the thing. Right now, I have to use a wireless earbud, wireless IM, in my apartment, walking around doing things. Probably going to be this one, over the Apple. Oh my God, Zios, that didn't take long for you to beat it. No, we're not beating it in a lot of categories. We are gently massaging it to the side. So, much, much more acceptable size. Still thicker by probably 25%, the case. But unlike the plastic, this is metal and USB-C. So we're ready. And this is like metal. Like, this feels nice. I almost want to say it's the same weight. This feels quality as hell. This is the one I pulled out when I was talking about it. So you pop this open, this little like cigar thing. And you're presented with the two IMs. They say MiFo on the back. And there's little LEDs in the stalks. You can see they're blinking white to indicate charging. I don't believe they are connected yet. So you can pull out either one to use it singularly. And it should connect. And I have them both connected. So I'm just going to pull them both out. And they're connected already. So obviously you have to pair them beforehand. Here are your charge contacts, which is way different from the way they're charging the 5s. 5s have 3 huge contacts, so I don't know if that's just a cheaper way to do it. Or we have to talk about the tips too, because if Zeos isn't changing the tips on something, you've done a real exceptional job with your tips. They come with standard, you know, this. And Zeos doesn't rock those. First of all, Zeos needs a slightly larger one in his right ear than his left. And although they came with several different sizes, this is what's holding it in your ear. When you're talking about a TWS, a true wireless IM, unless they have a hooks to go out, or they do what the Samsung Galaxy Buds, by the way, Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus over there, with like the little rings that squeeze up into your ear, you need to make sure that it feels good. And unlike the Airpods, these will take a normal tip. Just a tip. Just the tip. Just the tip. Just the tip. However, this is what the normal standard Dakoni tip looks like. This is my preferred IM tip for real IMs. You plug it with wires. And this is the true wireless version that Dakoni makes. Fits most true wireless in-ear models. And there's a reason they have to make them shorter, because you could just put a full-size IM tip on this. Boom. Literally never coming out of your ear, ever. And I would love to use the full-size tips, but Dakoni makes it with the blue insert, and they make it slightly shallower because they know you've got to put it in a little coffin. And even with the shorter tips, you have to like work them way back. And when you're going to go to put them in the charge case, and I haven't tried it with every IM, so I don't know how it works yet. You should drop it in there, and I usually have to press it down and count to 3, and it stays touching and charged. So, oh, by the way, there's a little, where is it? Let me try and get it light up again. Where is it? There. 2 lights. There's 3 lights in there. So it's an actual battery indicator on the case, which I think is cool. You do not have that. You have to read that off the app because you're all on iOS. It's great. So if you compress these Dakoni tips as far as you can onto the IM and then hold them in for a split second, you can get them to seat properly, I think, on most cases. It won't be all, and the problem is if it pops out and it's trying to charge and you didn't have it charging, you have to make sure that the back is actually pushing down. In fact, you could see it's up a little bit more than it would normally be, and that's just from the foam being much better. In case you haven't figured it out, by the way, I'm recommending more Dakoni tips. And unlike the Airpods, which need a specific, just for AirPod, this is the only tip that Dakoni makes specifically for this one model, you can use these on most. You actually use it on regular IMs if you just don't want them to go in your ear that deep. Again, I have a large set and a medium set. Large here, medium here, pop them on, done. So let's take these out of their case now. Let's see how long it takes for them to pair up. It's already gone ding. All right. These, without the foam tips, they were still comfortable, but they just, I don't know, they don't feel solid, and I prefer a foam tip. But these are weightless compared to these. And I went over all about like how they had to design it and how they had millions of customers using it and that. And I love the stick. I do love a good stick. We all love a good stick now and then. But there was something about the way this sits in your ear that it's just big and odd. Now this has a similar, it has a much deeper reach, as you can see, where the actual tip just barely goes there, and the stick is not as pronounced. They've gone with at least something to grab onto, so I don't feel like I'm gonna drop it. I can grab it by this. And I apologize for it being greasy. My ear is not a clean place. Dirty, dirty things. Touch controls. We have to talk about touch controls, and I really should have them out of my ears to do this, but I'll drop you back in here so you stay charged. All of these cases, by the way, are stupid. Like, I think the AirPods, the original ones, probably had the longest stick and therefore the easiest way to put them back in the case. But this one you have to, like, manipulate it to the correct orientation in your fingertips, which is unnatural, before dropping it in there like that. I guess you would pull it out and then you just... Whatever. We're here with this. So you look at it, it says L there. This one says R there. I have the Deconi tips on them. You got your two contacts, your microphones. Remember when I said it was noise reduction? That's for the microphones for making phone calls. They make decent microphone sounds. I should not rephrase it that way. But they say, like, oh, when you're on the phone call, the microphone will help reduce ambient noise. It's not a noise canceling IM like that is. Or like the Galaxy Buds are. I believe those are noise canceling. Actually listening to the room and reverberating backwards to cancel out the sound. So all those features, if that's what you want, ignore these. However, these have more usability and function for, I'd say, a normal regular Android or phone user than those, specifically because they are touch surfaces. Both outsides are touch surfaces. And can I get them to play? Yep. 2 taps, and it's either side is touch surface. So 2 taps on either one will play or pause. It'll switch modes. 3 taps changes tracks. We're going to go back. Do the left one. 1, 2, 3. Back again. Pressing it once. Pressing it once. Oh, am I at the maximum volume? Hold on. Wow. You're failing at me. Pressing it once does volume control, which is something that you really, really want. Hold, please. Sometimes foobar gets weird, and I don't want you to think it's just me. All right. There you go. Double tap to pause. Double tap to unpause. Triple tap for next track. 1 tap volume up. 1 tap volume up. And if you touch and hold either side. Hold on. There you go. What's the weather in Bangladesh? 74 degrees in Bangladesh. So it's going to be 87 in Bangladesh today. So we have got access to our... Well, let me double tap to pause. Double tap to pause, not triple tap. I went to the next track. We have got play pause on either side. You have next track with triple tap on right, last track with triple tap on left. You get volume up or volume down, left or right. And if you hold either one, it'll go doot, and it will bring up your voice assistant, whatever it is, whoever it is, whether it's Siri or, I guess, Android lady. So they weigh less than these. They have physically less weight. They have more control functionality. Not having to pull my phone out ever is a joy, and part of the reason I want wireless IEMs. The same reason I go for those FIO adapters, because those will do what these will do. Volume up, volume down, next track, last track, play, all that. How do they sound? Because they do some noise cancel it, like certainly better seal with the foam Deconi tips. That's just a given. That's why I use foam in most IEMs, regardless of the company. You either use Comply or Deconi or random brands on Amazon. Foam will insulate better or isolate better. So I could still just make out things, but then you put on music and it's like complete wash. People are a complete wash. Everything's a complete wash. And they're only using a dual balanced armature with a little squeezers, which I don't know of many IEMs that use just 2 BAs. But they've done a really good job. If they've DSP corrected it, like I said, that they've definitely corrected the fuck out of these. If they have DSP corrected these, That cheese talking, I can't tell if someone's talking in vent. That could be the song. They sound good. Like they're not competing with this in sound quality. These do like insane millions of dollars worth of effort to make them sound this good. But this is not that far off from an IM I'd recommend you in the $100 range. It's $150 for these. $150 is decent. It's not the cheapest thing. I get offered $40 IMs all the time. $40 true wireless, $40. I'll do like one of those, and I hope I could find a good one. But I know what goes into this. You need to make the case. The case has to have a battery. You've got to put batteries in each of the units. You got to put DACs in each of the units. You got to put amps in each of the units. And then on top of all of this, you need to somehow find a budget for an actual IM. So when you look at a $40 one, holy fuck, the profit margin on that would have to be $0 to make anything quality. So ignoring anything below $50 and knowing that at least these, when they were working, were an acceptable listening sort, like just accept, like minimum acceptable. Tin T2s would destroy them. But I wasn't like gagging from the way that 05 sounded. But then you got to pick this goddamn cigarette coffin up, the cigarette case, and it's like, you know what? Spend more money to get it. Just this gets smaller, and they don't get much lighter. Like I don't think you can get much lighter in an IM than this. And they come out and I could pretty much grab them. They're one of the more usable shapes, just from that little stem. And I recommend them because they give you a good low end, probably a little bit more pronounced than it is on the AirPod Pros. I mean, there's no adjusting it. It's not like it's doing like equalization. It just is what it is. So they've definitely brought the lows up, and the space is actually really not like, it's got a good overall soundstage. It isn't stuffy. I had no issue with the sound quality. Like you're gonna ask me, Zeos, which IM does it compare directly to? And it's like, holy shit. Not Tin T4s. Now, Tin T4s had more brightness to them, but they had also had crazy low end. I guess if I had to put these in a category of at least just sound signature, it's a slight V. Just a slight V. Where neutral is just everything's balanced and pleasurable, or it could be balanced and boring. And a V shape is bass and treble, but then there's multiple levels of V shape. The FA7s are this, FA5s are, FH5s are this, FA7s are this. And then Tin T2s are just like a slight warmth bump. So you know what? It's almost like Tin T2s, but you know what? I'm gonna give them at least Tin T2 quality because it's a similar shape of the sound. And since we're looking at 3 times the cost, 3 times, that means you're paying $100 for its ability to be wireless. And it is true wireless. It's not loop over the ear, and it has the controls I'm looking for. It has volume up, volume down, next track, last track, play pause, and bring up the assistant. And the tips, by the way, are only $9 for it says a 3-pack. I don't know. That's a 3-pack. So is that a 3-pack? Oh, it's 3 entire tips. Okay. So if you need to use just one size, you know what it is. You only need one. I would need to buy 2 of those so I could mix and match. They get good reviews. They're in this weird, like this is a brand new category for me. Like I did this and I sort of launched it off. And usually when I review a headphone, I have an entire history of 200 headphones that I could pull examples of and lay them out for you. But these MiFos are literally the second true wireless IM, well, third through true wireless IM I've actually cared about and paid attention to. So it's like when you have a race against 2 cars and you're like, well, this is the fastest car and this one is slower. How much slower? I've only ever raced 2 cars. Only 2 cars exist in the whole world. So until I start digging into that pile more and more and more and get the Galaxy Buds and get the sound cores and start really getting a brain database going, because I need a brain database, then I'm just going to have to say that I think the MiFos are absolutely worth it. They're light enough. They're clean looking. They're actually like, the fact that they like disappear in your ears, the fact that these are dark gray, like gunmetal, and they just go away in your ears. And the entire surface here, if I did have to say the negative point, I like how on the AirPod Pros you have to squeeze the little dick. Squeeze the little dick. Look at the little, it's got a little dick that sticks out of your ears, and you squeeze that, and that's controlling it. On these, I'll never get that straight. On these, I wish it was indicated better. I mean, it says R and blatant R right there, but you can't tell from the fascia. You have to sort of just know by feel. And when you are adjusting and tapping this, you're tapping the entire IM in your head. Which, if you start doing next track, next track, next track, you're just smashing an IM in your ear over and over and over again. So, I mean, and you can't touch the bass down here. I thought maybe I could do like a little like squeeze thing, like kind of like that. No, it's this area, this very center area is what indicates to the Bluetooth that you need to do something. So you're going to get used to it. You're going to gently learn to tap. Just tap, because you don't want to be like, don't do that to your ear. Don't smash your ear when something stops working. If it's not changing tracks because you're touching it, pull it out, clean it. Because these, again, they're going in ears which are not clean places. And try again. Other than that, other than it having like, and it doesn't quite have the same kinetic click like this does, but that's Apple's like forte. That's what they do. Boop. It goes boop. And actually, it boops only in the ear that you've made the command on. So I double tapped here and it went boop. And I double tapped here to unpause again. It went boop. And then we go boop, 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 boop. And as long as you're not smashing it, it's... Oh, it just have really good spatial fucking analysis. We are listening to currently Amber Rubarth, Sessions from the 17th Ward. That is on Spotify. And if you don't know what audiophile is, like as far as music genre, like I don't know, Zeus, I don't know if I've ever heard an audiophile track. Go listen to this lady, this Amber Rubarth lady, Sessions from the 17th Ward, and this is Tundra. And it's real quiet, and it's all open microphones in this space. And I don't think I've ever heard this sound abysmal. So it's sort of like it's that good. Like it elevates everything you listen to it on. There's someone pressure washing like a truck 70 feet behind the guy with the microphone. Let's make it louder. Tap. Make it louder here. Oh, it was on the ringer because it paused. My bad. I guess don't try to raise the volume when it's paused. That'd be bad. Yeah, no, these are absolutely acceptable, and I think if you find me on the streets, well, maybe not. It's the safety feature of the open wireless. But if I don't give a shit about the safety and I'm just wandering through a park and I know there's no cars and I just want the lightest weight I am that makes good sound, good quality sound, MiFo 07s. This is way heavier than this, by the way. Just want to, let's dump this. I'd say this weighs 50% more than this. That's what's one of the good and bad things about going with metal. Like it feels great, but it's got the beef. It has got the beef. Whereas this is at least trying to be lightweight, which is perfect for people. No. Hold on, At least the Dakoni tips fit perfectly in that. But again, it's because it only has to fit one. Dakoni's making these general audience. Oh yeah, wait. Flowbots, fight with tools. What a good like guitar riff is playing right now. Pause. Pull them out. Look, I could pull them out and everything. I like these. I really do. I apologize for them for leaving them just on my table forever because I just didn't care. I didn't care, but it's 2020 and we're all locked in, and when we do eventually get to leave our houses, this is the stuff we're gonna want to do. Yeah, like it's just the tips are just a little bit more robust than the case is prepared for. So you gotta give them there a little bit of a press down. And then the magnets take care of the rest. It's still playing in there? Or is it disconnected? Oh, it still says it's playing in there. They won't like pause when you take them out of your ear either. You have to pause them. Like, they don't do that sort of detection thing. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to say. Like, I mean, this is like review number 2. This sort of changed my mind on True Wireless. And now it's time to find things that I like more than the Apple. And as far as like fit, comfort, the MiFos beat the Apples. The cheap MiFos are just, if you only can spend like $80 on it, why not? I'm not giving them a full endorsement. I mean, one of them stopped working, but it's probably just I have to fully charge it without the tips on it, so it gets full contact, and it's one of those things. But these for $150 is a buy. And I'll use them until I go to the pile over there and then realize, oh, this other one. I know for a fact these are probably the best feeling ones because I put some of those other ones in and they're just not. They're just not. And the KZ ones sound bad. Also, keep in mind, break-in is a thing that I believe in. Not of cables, not of solid-state amplifiers, but of physical moving drivers. And this is a balanced armature. It shouldn't really need break-in because it's not that big a space. But I'd give them a couple hours. Give them a couple hours. Let's pull them out of the box and put them in your ear and say, okay, no, I don't like them. Give them a couple hours to grow on you. At least to your brain. Even if it's only your brain breaking in. Get used to that sound. Anywho, that wallpaper is available in the description of this video. Crop it out, put it on your phone. Or put it on your 21:9 monitor. Or turn it sideways and put it really oddly on your 16:9 monitor. All wallpapers available to patrons and Subscribestar subscribers. I thank you all for keeping me employed during this bullshit. All the reviews are available to the patrons and the people on Subscribestar early, at least a week. We're back up to a good buffer. The yard sales, which happen from the 1st to the 10th of every month, you'll probably find these MiFos in it if I make sure they work. If they're not working, I'm not going to sell them. But if they're working, I'll throw these in there. They're $80. Offer me $29.18. Live in the continent of the United States, I'll ship it to you for free. You live in Bangladesh, where the weather is actually really nice, a little bit hot. Half price shipping. Ask me any questions you want on platform, which is a real nice benefit. I just went through, I had 40 of them, 40 questions, and I spent 4 hours going through those 40 questions today. So I'm all caught up on that, so I should get back to you relatively quickly. However, relatively quickly can be immediately, since I have a private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat that has watched me fix my Sundaras today, and they watched me find all these new cables today. So that's like the real, if you want to know what is the bleeding edge of Z reviews, $10 or higher tiers get you into that chat. From Subscribestar or Patreon, it does not matter. There also is some benefits on the Discord. There's a Discord attached to the Patreon. And if you're a subscriber, just jump in the Discord anyway. But really, you want to be on the Telegram, because I don't go to the Discord very often. Check out Hi-Fi Guides, which does not have a True Wireless setting yet. We currently have in-ears, but nothing TWS. Warm. There you go. V-shaped. FA7s, understatement, and, sorry for a second, and Hi-Fi Guides, the forum, now has, if I refresh the page, wait for it, boom, a home theater section. So if you're looking for home theater, car audio, DIY audio, gaming audio, general equipment, speakers and subwoofers, IEMs, headphones, and music talk, well, there you go, music talk, always on top. Because what's the point of any of this shit if you can't listen to music? So you want to go find good music. Tinty 2, unofficial thread, thoughts and impressions. Ooh, an unofficial thread. Why? What are they talking about? Earman Donald Dack. Oh, I have to know about this. Do I have that? No, I don't have that. Earman. Anyway, wallpaper, Hi-Fi Guides, the forums, links to the MiFos, both of them. We'll move this over there. Links to the Tacony tips. Everyone should have 2 phones because it just makes you so much more of a badass. And hopefully the next time I do a review, I could just, start stacking up. Okay, well now how does this compare to this, which was my other favorite for more comfort. And then this to this, and the control features, and this to this finally has noise canceling. So welcome to day like 2 of True Wireless on Z Reviews. And I'm not going to try to do like a ton of them, just the ones that are here, and if they're ones that look interesting. Like the KZ ones need to get done. Anyway, I'll go back to not wireless IAMs on not internal amplifiers, and I'll see you tomorrow.